Hi folks, Kevin from Darby Training Systems here. I've got an ab wheel. This has been around forever. It's a TV infomercial fame, and there's many different variations. You've got big ones, you've got ones where there's handles that come out to the side and are a little straighter with a higher position. So there's many different variations of the ab wheel out there now. I think a lot of people say the one with a big U-shaped handle feels like it's a little easier to use. Nevertheless, great tool. I'm going to show you a couple of safety points or efficiencies you can use with this tool. I see it used sometimes incorrectly in terms of maximizing recruitment of the core, and I'll explain. So when you get set up, if you look at my hips, the main thing I see with folks is they're more in this position, and you see them go forward and the butt's up that way. It's not a very effective tool that way because you're not challenging the core as a pillar. So what I'd prefer is in this position here, you extend your hips forward. Again, from here, I'm driving my hips as far forward as they can. My knees come out and I stay in a locked position. I move to my target and I squeeze and I come up and everything is rigid. Again, from here, I squeeze and it all comes up in one piece. There's no break at the hips. The next thing, you notice that I'm giving a target. The only way to measure the progressive overload is to know that each time you've made the exercise more challenging for the client. So this time, I can measure the distance from the mat to the wall, and it tells me how much of a challenge there was for the client, and it also creates a safety mechanism. If the client doesn't feel comfortable and they hit the wall, they can stabilize themselves from here and recover from the position. The next session, I simply move the mat back. In this case, I could count the number of squares in the hardwood, or I could measure the distance. So next time I can make it a little tougher. Client comes in, I know that there's more of a challenge. Hips go forward, they roll out, they touch, and they come back, keeping the glutes and the core all locked in so it looks like a pillar. Great tool if you employ progressive overload so you can measure what's happening each session with your client. Is it getting more difficult? Is there more of a challenge each time? And also building a safety mechanism. Couple of technique points to help you use the ab wheel more effectively. Remember, mobile to move, stable to train.